Hello viewers, I am Shalini Pandey, Assistant Professor of English in Government TCLPG College, Jajir. Today in this lecture, I am going to tell you about a poem, Dower Beach. This poem has been written by Matthew Arnold, a great Victorian poet. This poem is in syllabus of MA English second semester. Friends, Dower Beach by Matthew Arnold is a great poem. English Victorian poet Matthew Arnold's most famous poem Dower Beach is a dramatic monologue where the poet expresses his frustration and hopelessness of the modern chaotic world. Dower Beach is the most celebrated poem by Matthew Arnold. And he is an educator, a writer of the Victorian era. The poem expresses a crisis of faith with declining standards of Christianity. The speaker sees Christianity being unable to withstand the rising tide of scientific discovery. New researches and intellectual inquiry cast doubt on humankind's central and special role in the universe. The speaker in the poem sensed Victorian uncertainty that came from changing attitude towards science and God. The speaker stands on the titular beach and describes the calm sea and the pebbled shore. The night air is sweet, but he is conscious of a note of sadness being brought to him by the tide. So, now let's read the poem. Dower Beach. The sea is calm tonight, the tide is full, the moon lies fair upon the straits. On the French coast, the light gleams and is gone. The cliff of England stand, glimmering and vast, out in the tranquil bay. Come, come to window, sweet is the night air. Only from the long line of spray, where the sea meets the moon blanched land, listen, you hear the grating roar of pebbles which the waves draw back and fling at their return up the high strand, begin and cease, then again begin, with tremulous cadence, slow and and bring the eternal note of sadness in. So, let's explain the first stanza. The first stanza consists of 14 lines like a sonnet, with a change of tone at the ninth line as it should be the case for the sonnet. The poem opens on the naturalistic scene. The speaker stands on the cliff of the Dower Beach, gazing out of the majesty of the nature. Here, the speaker compares the receding waves to the decay of spiritual faith. Here, there is a happy mood. The speaker invites his beloved to come to the window, to enjoy with him the calm sea and the sweet air on a beautiful night. The speaker, however, cannot resist the sadness that feels by the repetitive sound of the waves on the shore pebbles. The sound reminds the speaker of the ever changing fortune of the people. Next stanza. Sophocles long ago heard it on the Aegean, and it brought into his mind the turbid ebb and flow of human misery. We find also in the sound a thought, a hearing it by this distant northern sea. So, this is the second stanza. In the second stanza, the speaker is reminded of ancient Greek playwright Sophocles, who also heard the sound of the Aegean Sea and then wrote tragedies on human misery. Here, in this poem, the speaker imagines that the same sound heard by the Greek dramatist Sophocles made him think of the recurrence of human suffering. So, This is a great stanza. Next stanza, that is third stanza. The sea of faith was once too yet full, and round earth's shore lay like the fold of bright girdle flood. But now I only hear its melancholy, long withdrawing roar, retreating to the breath of the night wind down the vast edge, drear and naked shingles of the world. So, in this stanza, the speaker laments the lack of faith in the modern society. Here, he compares faith with the receding tide. The speaker compares the waves, the receding waves, to the decay of spiritual faith. Religion that used to be like a sash or belt surrounding humanity and protecting it from doubt and despair is now removed, leaving behind a faithless humanity. So, it is a very sad poem. Here, sadness creeps in, and the speaker is reminded of how recent scientific discoveries, like that of evolution, have forever changed how we think about nature and thus our place in it. This brings science and faith into conflict. So it's a very beautiful poem. Next stanza, sorry. Our love, let us be true to one another for the world, which seems to lie before us like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, hath really neither joy nor help or pain. And we are here on the darkling plain, swept with confused army, clashed by night. So, in this last stanza of Dover Beach, the speaker urges his lady love to be true to one another is the new world that brings to be so beautiful apparently does not evoke much hope for him. Why? Let's explain. The speaker turns to his beloved, saying that it is our sincerity and love that we can find solace in the world full of deception and uncertainty. The poem ends on a dark note, stating that there is no joy or love or light, and that all the theology and scientific theory in the world cannot make life meaningful if there is no love. It's a great poem. Now let's go for the theme. Form. This is an elegy. This is a great elegy. Arnold's Dover Beach is considered as an elegy, lamenting the world's loss of religious faith during a time of progress in science and industry. This is a dramatic monologue also. Matthew Arnold's Dover Beach is a dramatic monologue because the poet is addressing a silent audience. The effect is of person directly addressing another, while the readers listen in. This is in free verse. Theme: Decline of religious faith in the modern world. In the Arnold world, religious faith was receding under the impact of modern materialism. The Industrial Revolution and the new scientific ideas such as theory of evolution, consequently spiritual values and religious beliefs were cast in doubt. Arnold lament the dying of the light of the faith symbolized by the gleaming light on the French coast. To his ears, the sound of the waves becomes the melancholy, long withdrawing roar of the sea of faith. The receding water leaves behind a world bereft of any spiritual value, a world which offers no certitude, no peace, nor help for pain. Thank you.